Too bad they didn't have any notes to play today. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Nice work today. Nice work. Time's a little short. I only have time to cover a couple of things. So I'm going to get right to those. Take up the Allegro Spirituoso, if you would, first. Nice job. Now, here is a perennial problem. When there is a soloist, the ensemble tends to cover the soloist. Have you heard that lecture before? Take it to heart. It's really a problem, and I've done a lot of concerts where I had soloists, and so I spent the whole time on the podium doing this. Y'all shut up, okay? Because we were covering up the soloist. And what a fine job, and from memory and the whole bit, and we want every single moment of her solo to be perceived and heard by the audience. Now, and I sat back there in the group and had the director tell me to be softer, and I'm going, but I'm playing as soft as I can. But I wasn't. And sometimes you may have to cut down on the number of people playing. That's just, and so if he says, hey, look, cellos, 6 of you at this point is too much, don't be offended if he says, let's just have the first stand play. Okay, don't be offended. It's a balance thing. It's not you personally. And so let's take, just for an example, let me pick on you a bit here. Let's take, I'm asking you to start in the middle. That's not fair. Let's go from the beginning. Let's go from the beginning. Come on back up here and get to work. I don't want to stand in your way here. Okay, let's go at the beginning just a little bit. And I'm going to shush you here along the way. So, okay. Now, first thing, you did a wonderful job at the beginning of playing under the soloist. That was perfect. When you start your crescendo, you did a crescendo like you would normally do if we didn't have a soloist. But when we have a soloist, you have to take all of your dynamic levels and cut them at least 1, if not 2. So now, when we go back and do this again, instead of going up to mezzo forte, I don't want you to play and do the crescendo, because that was perfect. But don't get up to mezzo forte. Mezzo piano tops. Okay? Here we go. Once again. Yeah, see, well, we're not playing mezzo forte. Dynamics are relative. Dynamics are always relative. It's mezzo forte in relationship to everything else that's going on. It's fortissimo in relationship to everything else that's going on. So sometimes as a player, I'm sitting back, I'm a low brass player. My wife's a string bass player, so I get the string thing too. So when I'm sitting in the group, and I might have forte, and I start playing along, and something's going on, and then I have the same part, but something new happens. And so I have to play mezzo forte, even though my part does not say change dynamics. I have to change dynamics because something else is new or something else is happening and has to be heard. So dynamics are relative. Think about that all the time. Oh, shoot. That's all I get to hear. Sit. Okay, beautiful job. My golly, you could come play in my band anytime. Actually, I did have a wonderful violinist came and played with us, did the Schindler's List. You've heard heard that maybe once or twice. So no pressure, that's just permanent. All right, go over to the Sweet New Moon, would you? Let's pull that up. I'm gonna make it work. Now I'm gonna carry on from what I was talking about. Now, at the beginning of this, we weren't quite certain how we got started. The beginning was not as strong as everything else. So how do we do that? How do we make sure with a pickup note, how do we make sure that we're going to start together? A breath works. Wait a minute, we're playing string instruments. Well, you still better breathe. And breathing is one of the best ways to start together. But there's another thing. We have to have a good preparatory beat. Huh? What's a preparatory beat? Anybody know? What do you think?
It's the beat where no one plays, but it sets the tempo.
Yeah, it's the beat before you play. It's the preparatory beat. So if I'm going to start on, let's say I'm going to start on beat 1, then my preparatory beat would be beat 4. 4, and then we'd all start together. And everybody would breathe on the preparatory beat. Play. And then we all come in on 1. But in this case, yeah, it's on the end of 3. So, you might even sneak a little 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Something like that. And you've probably been doing it. I'm probably not telling you anything you don't already know. But let's do that. Let's see if we can get a little better start this time. Yeah, and it's a matter of communication between the director and you guys in the ensemble. So be sure that you have it worked out what you're going to do. And I'm sure you probably did. It was probably just a fluke. But just make sure that we always know what we're going to do when we get started together, because it was such a beautiful job. And the other soloist, and the other piece too, I probably won't have time to get to. The other soloist, nice job on that. 2 great soloists. That's wonderful. Now, still on Sweet Moon. Sorry, stay there. I'm going to harp on you on one more thing. I want you to play at the beginning and go on through, and I'm going to stop you here. Just go ahead. All stop together, but we'll go on because I want to check something else out. Okay, should our sound be any different when it's soft than when it's forte? How do we control the sound on a string instrument? Pressure, absolutely pressure. What else? Yeah, all of those things. So again, I don't have time to go into a lot of detail here, but be careful so that when we get to 6 and we're really trying to play piano, that we have the good sound that we have in measure 7. So always play with good sound. Don't let your sound get so soft. In fact, P means play softly with good sound. Just like double forte means play as loud as you can with good sound. Okay, that's part of the deal. So always keep that in mind as you're playing. And one last thing, there, give me the hook here. One last thing, be careful when you go up in 3rd and 4th position. When you're in 1st position, I'm talking about intonation now. When you are in 1st position, the notes are a certain distance apart. I'll pick on violins just for a second. And I'm probably telling you something you don't already know. At least I should be telling you something you don't already know. I'm just reminding you. When you're playing in 1st position, the notes are a certain distance apart. When you get up in 3rd and 4th position, they're what? They're much closer, aren't they? They're much closer together on all string instruments. So what happens sometimes is people forget. And so they don't bring those notes closer together, and they play sharp. And then we have some intonation issues. So be real careful as you go up. Make sure that you know where we are, so that we aren't playing sharp and then go from good intonation to a little bit questionable on some notes. So that's one thing we want to check out and be real certain of. And lastly, how much does he have to pay for one of you good people to pick up the string bass? Okay, so you do have a bass. Well, okay, we need reinforcements. It would be nice to have 2 or 3. So, as my wife's a string bass player, and I would be remiss if I didn't throw that out there. Or maybe one of the guys back there that's sitting over in the corner would want to pick. I did string bass. I'm a low brass player, but I learned to play string bass before I met my wife. And she hates my position, so she gets mad if I pick up an instrument. But I, just to add that extra sound on the bottom, because the group has got so many good things happening. I'm a bass player, another bass player, another bass player. So keep up the good work, guys. Keep up the good work. We're happy to hear you.